What's up, everybody? So thanks for tuning in. So this tutorial is a recreate of someone who I adore. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge Jill Scott fan. So this makeup is a recreate of her look from this year's BET Black Girls Rock. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so first, just to kind of prep Mercedes' skin for this look, I'm going to use makeup wipes from MAC and a toner from Muji, which is a Japanese store that sells some skincare products and some home care products like containers. I get a lot of my palettes from Muji, but I bumped into this toner because I ran out of my NARS one, so I wanted to just kind of give this a try, and it works amazing. So it's just going to help even out the skin. I'm going to use a Charge Moisturizer from MAC, and I like to just kind of start in the center of the face, and she has really, really good skin and with this nice golden complexion going on. I get like this in the summertime. She's a little darker than me, so I'm a little jealous, but we can always get there with bronzer. So this moisturizer is great because it amplifies the hydration already in the skin. So I'm just gonna lather on some on any dry spots I might have. I'm all for a really glowy skin, and I want the skin to still look like it's skin, and the product that you use to even out the complexion just to enhance the overall skin tone. So I'm going to be using the Black Opal foundations. I'm using them from my palette. So this is Heavenly Honey and Truly Topaz. So I'm using these two colors to just go in and even out and give a little bit of coverage. But like I said, I want to keep her freckles pretty noticeable. I think that's really, really gorgeous. And as we get in the darker areas, as we see with the Truly Topaz up here, because she's more tan, I'm going to just have to go in with a little bit more of a warmer color. This one is Beautiful Bronze by Black Opal. And it's really important that when you're doing your makeup in the summertime, that if you hold a lot of color, meaning if you get tan, you might end up having a color for the summer and a color for the winter. So just be cautious when you're doing your foundations that it's also matching the body. And to start to give a little bit of contour. So now I'm going to go with the deepest shade. This is Suede Mocha. And start to contour the hairline and blend out the edges of the other foundation. So very clean, very subtle. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So mix in the Heavenly Honey and the Truly Topaz. And use the foundation where you need foundation. If you don't need foundation in a certain area, don't use it there, because that's what's going to make it look like makeup. I'm going to use a little bit of MAC Select Moisture Cover Concealer in NC42, just to slightly conceal underneath the eye. This concealer is really great because it's really lightweight. It's just going to give a little bit of a more brightening effect underneath the eye, because we still want the skin to be visible and polished. And don't be afraid to bring your concealer down in this area and then just kind of work it out, versus keeping it really tight on the lower lash line. That's the first thing that will make your concealer extremely obvious. So now we're just going to set our foundation with the MAC CAREBLENDS powder with the NARS YACHIYO brush, and the color that I'm using is dark. And when I'm setting powders, I don't go in a blending motion. It's more of just a pressing or press and roll type of motion. So this way you're not shifting, look at your concealer or your foundation, you're really keeping it in place. And I'm just going to use this where the skin might get a little bit oily. So now we're going to use a bronzer. This is Refined Golden by MAC. And focusing on the outside of the face to really add warmth. And what's great about this bronzer, it has a little bit of a gold reflex. Really just focusing on the perimeter of the face and a little on the cheekbones. And then on the jawline. And then what's left on the brush, I just go on the chin and on the bridge of the nose. Now we're going to use MAC Ambering Rose Blush with the NARS Angle Brush. I'm going to start from the back and work my way toward the apple of the cheek. So now we're going to start on the brows. So first, I'm going to just use a spoolie, and I'm going to comb out her brows. I want to see where the hairs go, if there are any that need to be cut or tweezed, but her brows are really, really good. So we're not going to do a lot to make them look better because they already look great. So what I've found over the years of doing makeup, that using a lighter color to fill in and a deeper color to define makes the brow look more natural. So this is brow pencil from MAC in Lingering. And I'm starting under the brow to define the shape. And lots of short feathery strokes to replicate hair versus the brow looking really boxy and artificial. Now with the darker color, Spiked, which is a deeper brown, just focusing on the tail to extend and really frame the face, giving the brow more natural touch. And then in the beginning of the brow, light strokes. And you could also use like a clear brow gel to set the hairs, or a gel that has a little bit of color if you want it to soften them. But I really like the way her brows look, so I'm just going to keep it like that. And now we're going to start to do a little bit of that cat eye shape. So using an Yves Saint Laurent black eyeliner, look at, I'm going to line the waterline. And when I do cat eyes, I like to start from the bottom. So this way my eyes will be symmetrical and I can really get that kind of winged effect. So even if we wanted to leave it like this, this would be good. So I'm using the STILA Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner. And I want to get my point right first. So when you're doing your liner, it's almost like if you're connecting this part of the eye to the bottom, which is why I line the bottom first, so I can have that kind of guideline and look down. In short little strokes, and then I can make them a little bit longer. So it's almost like you're kind of laying out a map first. Look down. And now we can start to line the remaining part of the eye. You can go as thick as you would like with this, but depending on the eye shape, you might close the eye off. So in Mercedes, we want to keep it fairly in between and more of a rounded shape to complement her eyes versus something really harsh and angular that'll just change up her eye shape. Look down. Look down. Now just to pop out the lashes, we're going to use the Stila mascara. Look down. You can apply false lashes for this look just to give a little bit more depth. I'm not really a fan of false lashes. If you have a really great mascara, just layer up some mascara. So you might use one because it's a great lengthening mascara because of the brush. You might use one because it's a great volumizing mascara because of the brush. Don't be afraid to mix and match as well. Now doing the bottom, I'm just going to use the top of the mascara wand and just kind of trickle through versus using it this way. This is where you get the clumpy mascara. And I just want to add a little bit of darkness. So to start on the lips, I'm going to just use a little bit of the foundation that we used earlier just to take out her lip color. So again, that Heavenly Honey from Black Opal and Truly Topaz mix. So this is Nightmoth from MAC. So I'm going to use this as a guide and line and shape and define Mercedes lips. Now a lot of women stray away from liners, but liners really make a huge difference when doing colors that are this vibrant and this deep. And even when you're doing a neutral lip color, it's really important just to kind of have a little bit of shape. So as you can see, I'm using the liner to pretty much do most of the work. So when we talk about a lip that we want to have on all day, especially for an event like what Jill Scott attended, which was Black Girls Rock, who has time to touch up? So now we're going to apply some more color. And this is the NARS Satin Pencil in Palette Royale. It's more of a winey, ready tone. Not as deep as the Nightmoth, but like to just have a little bit of darkness underneath as a background color almost. So it's a lipstick in a pencil form with a satin finish. So it's not going to fall matte, it's not going to look too glossy, and it's pretty moisturizing. And then just to finish the lip, I'm going to use MAC Pro Longwear Lasting Achievement, which is more of that deeper color. So I'm using this to kind of set everything that we did, but the Pro Longwear factor is what's going to really give it some more longevity. Still in the same color family, that winey rose tone. She's ready to go. So I just want to highlight the skin a little bit. So I'm going to use just a basic fan brush and Cheeky Bronze from MAC with a little bit of Fix Plus. Just grabbing the product on a wet or dampened brush allows the skin to look really, really subtle in the highlight. I'm just hitting the top of the cheekbone, a little under the brow highlight, and then slightly above the brow. And there you have it.
It's hard not to listen. It's so nice. If I called you